Good morning, everybody. Chris 70 with 70 Investments and co-host of the Good Deeds Note Investing podcast here on my morning drive. Today I want to talk about indemnification. And first I want to just reiterate, I am by no means a lawyer, and this isn't legal advice. But I want to talk about it because what indemnification is it's kind of a security blanket clause that if somebody does something, you want them to cover, protect or take care of the liability. For example, with your servicing agreements, you want to have the servicer indemnify you in case they don't comply with something as part of Fair Debt Collection Act. Because if they don't, the borrower sues the servicer and your firm, you're going to have to represent yourself. Now, if you have indemnification clause that the servicer is responsible for the acts and indemnify you, they would have to pick up those fees. It's very important that you read your contracts, and I'm, known that I've missed it a few times, but right now I'm researching, some property management contracts, and the indemnification clause in these contracts is it doesn't matter if they have gross negligence, they won't indemnify you. And I've gone back to them and said, no, it doesn't work that way. If it's your fault, you indemnify me. If it's my fault, I indemnify you, which is essentially a reciprocal indemnification agreement, and they're very common. But what you'll see is sometimes language in the contract that is more one-sided. So when you're reviewing certain contracts, just don't look at the cost or some of the terms. Make sure you look at the liability section, because at the end of the day, liability is probably the most important factor in any contract on who is responsible and liable for what. Because the last thing you want to do is, especially on a property management contract, have a renter, sue you and the property manager because the property manager did something that they shouldn't have done, and then you gotta go out and get an attorney and so forth, so on. So definitely recommend maybe just Google indemnification or just talk to your lawyer about it and go back and look at some of your agreements. I've gone back and looked at some and been like, ooh, probably shouldn't have signed that, but and you can always, rework a new agreement with somebody, but, definitely focus on it in some of these new contracts and reviewing it. So I want to thank you all for watching today on this episode, and feel free to check us out on YouTube and join the Notes and Bolts Facebook group page. And thanks for watching. Enjoy the day.